Alrighty, everybody, are you ready for Bible class? We're going to start by singing two songs that I think you already know. One is the B-I-B-L-E. Oh, the B-I-B-L-E, yes, that's the book for me. I read and pray and then obey the B-I-B-L-E. Good job. Now, let's get our lights ready and sing This Little Light of Mine. If there's a mom out there, this class is really designed for children who can read, first grade through sixth grade. I typically teach fourth and fifth grade, but we're trying to incorporate all ages in this video. So we're happy to have everybody. Get your light ready. We're going to have our light, then we're going to blow it out, and then we're going to shine it all over the neighborhood. All right? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine all the time, let it shine. Don't let Satan it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan it out, I'm gonna let it shine all the time, let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine all the time, let it shine. Great job. If you're not sitting down already, it's time to sit down. Sit down, everybody, everywhere. Sit down, put your bum up in a chair. You can sit on the floor if you want, that's okay too. So, we have a Bible story today. It's about a man named King Ahab. Now, King Ahab was the king of Israel for 22 years. And there's one thing that King Ahab was known for, very well known for. You know what that is? He did evil in the sight of the Lord more than all the kings who were before him. He even built an altar for a god named Baal. Ahab did more to make the Lord God angry than all the kings of Israel that were before him. But there's more. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them on the wall. I'm not going to tell you. Well, you're going to have to figure something out. So wait just a minute. Notice the letter I. Notice all of the blanks up here. What we're going to be doing is kind of like Wheel of Fortune. You're going to have to guess something. But a little more about King Ahab right now. King Ahab was wicked, and he was also married to a very, very wicked woman. Her name was Queen Jezebel. She was not an Israelite. She did not believe in the one true God. In fact, she was so evil that at one time, she tried to kill all the prophets of the Lord. The man that our story is about today was one of the prophets of God that she did not kill. I'm not going to tell you his name, though. You're going to have to figure it out as we go through the story. If you're in third or fourth grade or even higher, and you have some younger kids that are watching this with you, don't say his name out loud. Just keep it in your head, because I know you're going to figure it out faster than some younger children. Let's give them a chance to figure it out too. Again, this man was a prophet of God. Do you know his name yet? What is a prophet? Before we go on, what is a prophet? A prophet is simply a messenger of God. God tells the prophet something he wants the people to know. The prophet goes to the people to tell them what God said. The people needed prophets back then because they didn't have a Bible like we have today. We have the whole Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament. And it tells us everything God wants us to know. We don't need anything else. We don't need any prophets today because we have the Bible and it's complete. Do you know his name? Have you figured it out yet? Don't say it out loud. Our Bible lesson today is taken from the book of 1 Kings, chapter 17. Is the book of 1 Kings in the New Testament or the Old Testament? Is it in the New Testament? Yes or no? Is it in the Old Testament? Yes or no? That's right. The book of 1 Kings is in the Old Testament. Let's take just a minute before we continue with our story and sing through the books of the Old Testament. I want you to take your finger and just point at each Bible book as we go through it. If you touch the screen, maybe you can help Mom clean it later. All right? All right. Get your finger ready. Point. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. All right, if you're not sitting down, sit down, everybody, everywhere. Sit down, put your bum upon a chair. All righty. One day, God sent this prophet, this man, who doesn't have a name right now, to King Ahab with a message. Now remember, they had been doing bad and evil things, like worshiping other gods. It wasn't just Ahab. Ahab was leading the people in this bad worship, plus many other evil things. Because they had done so much evil and hadn't listened to God, the message that the prophet took was that there was going to be a great famine. There's not going to be any rain. We're going to talk about what a famine is in just a minute. But first, don't say it out loud, but think in your mind, who is this man? Who is this prophet? What is his name? So, God was going to send a famine. What is a famine? It's a long time where there's no rain. Do you think the kids had to take as many baths when there wasn't enough water? Now, back then it wasn't like today. We just turn a faucet and we have water, even if there's a famine. But a long time ago, it wasn't that way. If there was no rain, a lot of bad things happened. What happens if you don't have enough rain? Then you don't have enough water to drink, and other bad things happen. Just a minute, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Have you figured out his name yet? So what is a famine anyway? Well, as I said, a famine is a time of no rain, or very, very little rain. If you don't have rain, the rivers dry up, the lakes can dry up, the farmers can't grow crops like lettuce. They can't grow apples and tomatoes and carrots, onions. They can't grow corn or wheat or rice. And if they can't grow those things, where would the people get them? the people could die because they had no food and no water. The animals could die if they had no food and no water. So a famine is really, really bad. Who is this man? What is his name? Who is this man that told the message to King Ahab? King Ahab didn't like being told that by some man that there was not going to be any rain for the next 3 years. So God told him to go away and hide. Why do you think he needed to hide? Do you have any idea why he needed to hide? Because the wicked King Ahab and the wicked Queen Jezebel wanted to kill him. King Ahab's thinking, why is this guy talking to me like that? I'm the king. You don't talk to me like that. Made him angry. He wanted to kill him. So God told him to go away and hide. Who is this man? What is his name? Don't say it out loud. Have you figured it out yet? I know some of you already know it, and some of you might not. Who is he? What is his name? The Bible tells us that this man trusted God and he obeyed God. In fact, we have a song called Trust and Obey. Do you trust and obey God? I hope so. This man hid himself away from the wicked king and queen. He knew God was watching over him even though his life was in danger. He found a place very close to a little brook so he would have plenty to drink. Do you know what a brook is? Is it something you read? Something you go to the library and read? In Colorado, we have a fish called a brook fish, a brookie trout. Did he choose to hide by a fish or by a book? No, that's silly. Then what is a brook? It's just a little river. So God made sure that he had all the fresh water that he needed. But who is this man? And what is his name? If you figured it out, can you tell me if you see a problem here? I see a problem that I didn't see a while ago, but I bet you caught it, so I'm going to go fix it now. Ta-da! That's much better. So, he's got plenty of water. What else does he need if he's going to be out there a long time? Of course he needs food, but how would he eat? What would he eat? So God decided he would let some birds be the food delivery service. Kind of like the pizza delivery man brings pizza to your door sometimes. Well, they didn't have pizza back then and they didn't have delivery service. So God decided he was going to pick some ravens and let those ravens bring the prophet bread and meat in the morning and bread and meat in the afternoon. Ravens were the birds that did this. Meat and bread and meat and bread. The prophet had plenty of good food to eat and plenty of clean water to drink. God was taking care of him, even in the difficult time. But who is this man? What is his name? I'll bet you know it by now, even though I misspelled it. Now, this food delivery service didn't last forever. Do you know why? Because the famine started. And all that fresh, clean water in the brook where this prophet was, it all dried up. You can't live without water. You have to have water. It's not like he can run to McDonald's and get a Coke or go to 7-Eleven and get a slushie. Those things, they didn't have those things back then. So what would the prophet do now? What would he do? Well, God always knows what's happening. God is always watching. We don't see him, but he always sees us. God knew that he would need water. God knew that he would need food, so he told him what to do next. Do you know what God told the prophet to do next? I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to come back next time, and we're going to find that out. Now that things are spelled correctly, let's all say together the name of the prophet. Prophet Elijah. His name was Elijah. That's right. I'm so glad you came today. Let's do one more song. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, and then we're going to be done for today. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. Goodbye for now.